All right, excellent. Welcome, everybody. We are here for our official Shrink a Size Monday educational Zoom, and I'm super excited about my special guest this week, Coach Roach. You're gonna learn from him. Really excited about our topic. It's something we're both very passionate about, so we're super glad you're here. As you're logging in, feel free to write into the chat area how you're doing. Let's make sure the chat is actually working this evening. I know we had issues with that last week. So panelists, everyone, I figured out how to fix it, by the way, y'all. So I think we are set to go. The chat should be, there we go. Yay, Kumi. Thanks for being here. So glad you're here. Awesome. And we got Hawaii on the line. You got Japan on the line. Oh my goodness. We are international, Mark. So let's get started with our screen share here. All right. Hey, Rodney. Now we're Canada. Oh my goodness. I think we have our first person from the United States. The Peach State. Do you know which one that is? Is that Georgia?
Maybe.
All right. I think it's Georgia. Georgia peaches. Kind of think it's so. All right, here we go. So as you guys know, my name is Melanie Nelson, director of TLS. I've been in the health industry since 2000. So coming up on 22 years, pretty crazy. As you guys know, the statements we're going to be discussing here have not been evaluated by the FDA. Our products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Please consult your healthcare provider before starting any weight management or product or exercise program. You can expect to lose healthfully 1 to 2 pounds per week with TLS, and success stories we share are coming from independent unfranchised owners. So without further ado, Mark Anthony Roach is our special guest tonight. He is a former USA Army soldier. Thank you for your service, Mark. He's got a bachelor's in psychology. He's a certified personal trainer. He was in the Army, a combat fitness test grader. He actually still to this day carries around his measuring tape. So what's really amazing is he found TLS, loved it, and now he is a certified TLS weight loss coach and nutrimetrics consultant, which means that he is also working with health professionals, integrating these preventative care systems into their practice, including TLS. So it's pretty awesome to have you on, Mark. Thanks for joining us.
Pleasure to be here. Thank you.
Yeah, for sure. So tell us a little bit about how you found TLS and what it did for you.
All right. So I found TLS in 2020 during the pandemic. And like a lot of us didn't have time to fit in fitness, but also needed something different to do. Because as you see in the first photo there, put on some pandemic weight. And that was the first time that I'm like, hey, I've got to lose weight because I'd always been trying to gain weight. So for me, I needed to lose weight and lose it quickly, but I just am not focused on just the number on the scale, trying to focus on looking better and building muscle. So I found TLS, and the first time I had tried anything that was systemized like this, and I spent 4 to 5 weeks, and lost about a little bit over 20 pounds, 20 to 25 pounds. Loved it, but more than just the weight, I felt better. I felt more clarity in my mind, felt better energy. And it was really the thing to kickstart and get me back in the right track, get me back on the bandwagon, and set that foundation to build back healthy habits. And as the time goes by, I continue to fine tune and bring myself to the next level.
Yeah, I love it. And now you're helping other people, with the TLS program and helping them get the results and kind of turn it around and lending a hand with other people, which is pretty amazing. So love that part as well. I know that one of the things you and I discussed was kind of, when everything in life is a little chaotic, which it has been, pandemic, or like, during this, I call it the situation. So during this situation, aside from any other personal issues that we all experience, right? Life is going to happen. So we have a lot going on during this time. And I know that we talked about the value of having something you can control. right? And the thing that we can control in our lives is what we feed our body, how we move our body, how we're taking care of ourselves. We can control like our lifestyle that way. We may not be able to control what's going on around us in this world, viruses, this, that, and the other thing, or personal challenges, but we can always focus on, staying, what is that serenity prayer, right? Lord, grant me the wisdom to change the things I can and know the, and accept the things I cannot, and the wisdom to know the difference. And so I think it's, a really powerful thing when you can take, control of that. And that was something you mentioned was an important part of your journey.
Definitely. Big anchor in my life.
Awesome. All right. So without further ado, let's get into today's topic, because we're excited to share about this topic. And one of the things that we really, are talking about here in Shrink a Size is exercise. We're part of your program during this 5 weeks of Shrink a Size is to exercise 4 times every week for minimum 30 minutes, 2 cardio, 2 strength. But chances are, it's either been a challenge or it's been a challenge in the past, or it's just something, not everybody takes to it naturally, right? I certainly didn't. So why don't we exercise? Well, one of the things is that was true for me is I didn't grow up with it. I wasn't on sports teams. My parents weren't active. These things were not a normal, natural part of my lifestyle. And so I don't know how many on the line, if that's true for you, go ahead and raise your webinar hand. We're going to kind of go through a couple of these here. Maybe you didn't enjoy it. I know I was always the kid that got picked last. I got balls in the face. I mean, I just, it was just a horrible experience, growing up. And so I didn't like it. Of course, I wrote fake doctor notes, Mark, to get out of gym class. Like, this was me, right? If you're an adult and maybe no matter how you feel about your body, if you've never worked out and you're headed to a gym, it's like, I don't want to look silly. I don't want to feel silly. I don't know what I'm doing. Having that self-consciousness about going to a gym for the reason of not knowing or body image stuff. I don't know how to do exercise. When we're in a state of rest, we tend to stay at rest. So if you've gotten out of the habit of exercise, the law of basically motion, right? An object at rest tends to stay at rest. An object in motion tends to stay in motion. And it takes a whole lot more inertia to move an object at rest, right? A whole lot more energy needs to be exerted to get that object in rest. So some of you might have been there or are there right now. And, time can be an obstacle as well for some people, or they just simply don't know how important it is, right, Mark? Like, just how crucial it is to their health and longevity.
Yeah, and if I can second Melanie, because I can relate to don't enjoy it at one point in my life, right? As well as the don't have time. And for me, as a kid, I didn't really enjoy working out. I just had this conversation, or my parents had this conversation with me. You're going to go to work or you're going to go join sports. You're going to get up off the couch though, and you're not going to sit here on Saturdays. So I was like, okay, you know what? Let me go join a sport. But it's kind of like, I don't want to be doing it's kind of scary at that age, right? And so through that experience, the habits that I developed, it got me into the mindset over the years of, okay, this is how we work out. This is just what we do. So some people go through that phase too, that I can relate to at one point in my life. And it helped me to understand the second to last point there, or the third. I feel like I don't have the time.
Yeah.
So with a lot of the clients that I work with as a personal trainer, we start building the habits, and I can gain that from that experience. We think sometimes of an all or nothing, like, hey, working out has to be this big Olympic event. I've got to spend 2-3 hours in the gym. And if I don't spend 2 to 3 hours, then I don't have the time. But something as simple as starting with the habits of doing 10 push-ups a day over the course of 3 to 4 days, and you can build up to doing 20 minutes a day, 30 minutes, and then build up to 40 or an hour.
Absolutely. Yeah. Warrior mentality is not always our friend, right? I
Right.
know a lot of people who have a very active job and they think that's enough, right?
Mhm.
Because I'm active, I clean houses, or I'm a handyman, or, these types of things where but occupational movement is so typically so repetitive that it can actually cause the body to wear down versus be stronger. And so having an active job is not considered training. I just actually met a runner at the gym yesterday, and I was just so impressed. He's in his 60s, and he's just like going to town right on that treadmill. And and I was like, wow, you're doing really amazing. He's like, yeah, I got to train to run. And I said, I'm so glad to hear you're doing that, because running is a sport just like anything else, and you need to train for it. Just plain old running, like anything in excess will wear the body down. And so you need to weight train if you're going to be a runner. You need to do other things, right? And so we're going to talk a little bit about that. Now, I want to switch gears here to why. Why do we want to exercise, right? We talked about why we don't. And I'm sure many of you could relate to some of those reasons. But why do we want to? Well, one of the reasons is our composition. What you're looking at here is not two steaks, but it is a cross section of the human thigh. All right. So it is kind of, essentially could be a steak cut here. And you've got two different people, two individuals that are actually the same size. So they'd be buying the same size in jeans, let's say. But if you take a look, their body composition is very different. So on the right-hand side, we've got something that looks more like a ribeye, right? You've got all of that white tissue around is actually fat. That's the adipose tissue. That dark circle with the white dot in it, that's actually the femur bone. And everything dark in the middle is your muscle tissue. And so you can see this is quite marbled. There's a lot of fat tissue, a lot of adipose tissue. And so this person has a higher body fat percentage. You look over onto the left and you got a filet mignon over there. All right. You got a little bit of fat on the outside, but that dense, dark muscle tissue, and then a nice, healthy femur there. And so this person, although they might be wearing whatever size 8 jeans or size 6 jeans, they have a very different composition. So one on the left is burning calories at rest, has a higher metabolism, will experience more energy, more health and vitality. Whereas when we are carrying that excess fat, we are putting ourselves at risk for health issues. And so composition has nothing to do with your size. You all probably have a skinny, sick friend, right? That friend who's constantly sick but is thin, and it's probably because they have this kind of composition going on where they're higher in body fat. So you don't have to actually look obese to be obese. Okay. And that's really crucial information to understand. So because it's your body and you would want to know what your composition is, but it also allows us, especially as like we're going through this journey, is not to compare ourselves and not to, oh, so and so lost 20 pounds already, or da 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 da, right? It's like, no, this is about you. This is about your body, your journey. And so we really want to focus on that muscle and fat ratio, because muscle dictates metabolism. And we don't just want to lose weight, we want to lose fat. And what we want to avoid is that what's called skinny fat or normal weight obesity, also known as dysmetabolic syndrome. That's happening more and more, where people are what we call skinny fat. And so I want to go ahead and find yourself on this chart here. So whether you're male or female, you're either left or right on the chart, find yourself in that age group. Which age group are you in, the upper, middle, or lower? Now look for that green number, all right, in your category, and go ahead and write that down, because that is, it's 33 or less, it's 19 or less, it's 25 or less, right? That's the number we're striving for. We want to definitely strive for that number. And so if you haven't already done your body composition measurement, highly recommend it. because this is more a measurement of your health than the number on the scale, than your gene size, than, really any other measurement. Would you agree, Mark?
I would agree. I would agree. It's also a good point to not only this slide, but the last one to remember that, some points during our journey, the weight on the scale goes up and we're like, man, I'm doing everything right. I'm working out, I'm eating, but the numbers are going up, right? But, muscle is, once we lose that fat and the weight goes down from losing the fat, and we start to build muscle, we still have weight from muscle, from water, from bone density, but we're in a different body composition. And that's what's represented by here is the body fat percentage is the more important thing at that point.
Absolutely. There's a point where the scale is just irrelevant. So this is your favorite topic here, Mark. Go ahead.
Absolutely. So I like to think of this non-scale of victories as the essential stuff. And one of the top ones that I like to look at every single year, sometimes even twice a year, is the blood panels. So I check with my doctor, hey, how's my blood work doing? And ask for the vitamin D as well, and the things that aren't standard. But once you know how your body's internally operating, I think that's my number one goal for fitness, for nutrition, is having a good quality life, which is the longevity. How do I feel? Can I do the things that I love to do, not just today, but 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years from now? Can I still work out? Can I still go surfing and snowboarding? Do I get to wear the clothes that I like to wear, right? I want to look good wearing the best clothes, the best pants and shirt, the nice tux, my army uniform, but sleep, right? I want to sleep not just for 6 to 9 hours, but have good quality sleep, have good dreams, and to wake up feeling refreshed. So these are all the things that when you stop seeing the numbers on the scale moving, then you want to start checking these things. How's my blood work? How's the inches around the different body parts? And then stronger. Sometimes you have none of these, but in the gym, you'll see yourself start to progress. Maybe you could only do 10 minutes on the treadmill, but this week you're doing 20 minutes. Or maybe you could lift 20 pounds, but this week you're up to 30 pounds now. And so all of these things are measurements of progress that come into play when you're going through your 12 weeks or 7 weeks, whatever journey.
For sure. I know that a lot of people who start with TLS, they start to get that glow, right? They're just, you can see it. They look healthier with their skin and their hair. I know a couple of my girlfriends and I were just talking about how our hair grows so fast because of this amazing lifestyle. It's like out of control. So it's pretty amazing. Actually, I have longer hair now than I ever was able to grow as a child. And that's because I'm actually healthier now than I was as a child. I can never, ever seem to get my hair past, kind of this shoulder area. And now I'm like, it's crazy. So it's pretty amazing.
Gotcha. Totally can't relate. Not yet, but someday. But the benefits, what are the benefits of exercise? Definitely muscle's there to protect your bones and your organs. And so we want to protect those things, right? The internals, but also the posture. You notice yourself start to stand upright, and to have better posture means that you're going to be doing better in your lifts and doing better in your day-to-day function, your cardiovascular and your immune system. So definitely cardiovascular is important for longevity, right? We want to be able to have good quality in our lungs and our heart, and reducing stress. Definitely just the workout itself. I noticed that after a good workout, whatever stress that I had before, I'm not thinking about it when there's a couple 100 pounds on my back doing a squat, but also you feel greater about yourself through the exercise results. Burning fat at rest while we're sitting here talking, definitely a good period after a workout, you're still burning fat and throughout the day, and improves your mood, increases your energy. And as mentioned earlier, your posture and the anti-aging. So I really believe that muscle is the fountain of youth, or the closest thing we have to it at this moment. Muscle is metabolism, and metabolism is longevity, and that is life. And so the more that we build up muscle and focus on that as a priority, the younger we can maintain our body, and not only the younger we can look, but feel as well too.
Oh, totally agree. I know I could be feeling like death warmed over and I just feel amazing after a workout. It's just like I could go into a workout just being like, oh, but I just really just want to stay in bed or not feeling very well or whatever. But I know just all those endorphins that this workout's going to release is that I'm going to just feel a ton better after. And it's because I've had enough of those experiences that I'm often talking myself into exercise because of all this long list right here. Right? It's just like, you're gonna feel better, Melanie, get your butt out of bed. Um, right. Actually, and I love the fact that depending on how challenging and how long the workout, you can be boosting your metabolism for up to 18 hours after a workout, which is pretty awesome.
Cardiovascular. Now, some people look at this like myself, and you're like, cardio. Oh no, right? But cardio is absolutely important for your aerobic and for your heart health. And for that matter alone, even though Coach Roach here, it may not be his favorite activity to do, I definitely do understand the importance of it, because you can build all this muscle in the world and still not have a good quality of life and not be able to walk up a flight of stairs because you're carrying all this weight. The heart is very important to exercise too. So I think the heart is actually one of the most overlooked muscles because we don't see it visually. And so that's why it's important to do cardio. Now, it doesn't have to be one type of cardio. We have running, walking, swimming, maybe you like to dance, right? Rowing. There's many different ways to work the heart. And what's important is for you to find one that you love and you enjoy. And that way you're more likely to stick to it. And for some of us, we may have certain injuries or limitations. So some are better than other, depending on what you can and can't do. But for me, for example, I want to do things that have low impact on the knees. So swimming and biking, those are my preferred methods. If I have to, I'll run. If there's a bear or something facing me.
If there's a bear. Well, and that's why cardio is important, because if you ever were in that situation, I'm always talking myself into cardio as well, because it's not my favorite either. And I'm always like, Melanie, you want to survive the zombie apocalypse. You gotta go, you gotta run faster than the zombies. I don't even think about bears. That's hilarious. Go ahead, Mark.
Gators in Florida, right? Gators.
Yeah, they are fast in short bursts, but yeah, they're lightning fast. Actually, they just can't maintain it for very long.
Oh, wow. All right, so strength training. This is what I love. It's definitely is important as well too, but we want to do resistance training. And commonly when we talk about strength training, we think of just the weights and the barbells and the gyms, but that is one way. There are machines as well. There are bands, there are body weight. So we can actually just use our body, and that's our first and free gym. You can do push-ups, squats, ab work, in
Lunges.
the lunges.
I can't stand lunges.
So they're all acceptable ways, and they're all different ways. But what I like to emphasize on is there are going to be times like in the pandemic where we don't have access to gym. And so it's definitely good to know how to do body weight or have some bands on hand. Or maybe you're traveling through an airport and you're going to go to a hotel for a couple days or a couple weeks, and you want to have some of those other options. So none of these are wrong or none of these are right. It's about what you have access to and then knowing how to use what you have access to.
Yeah, resistance bands are super easy to pack with you. That's what I like about them.
Mm-hmm. All right. So muscles, energy is life. Said it a couple times. It's kind of like the fountain of youth. And the more of it you have, the more metabolism you have. The more metabolism, the more you're burning at rest.
Yeah, I love that. I love the that analogy for sure.
Yeah. We can even think of it like a currency. It's the currency to stay young and to be lean. So flexibility. Oh boy. So definitely, I want to say when it comes to flexibility, this is as important is resistance training, because when you have more flexibility, you're able to do more quality in your resistance training. You're able to go deeper in the stretching movements of lifting the weights, right? If you're more flexible, you're able to hold better posture, better function, and more range of motion throughout your lifts. And so things like stretching, doing yoga, these are going to be important. Stretching is definitely good after you exercise resistance, and warming up is more important before. But nonetheless, the stretching and the flexibility is going to help you with longevity of being able to do resistance training over the years.
Yeah. It again, I think we had just chatted about how important it is later in life to have that range of motion in your joints, where you can, put your shoulders right up by your ears kind of thing. And, it doesn't stop here, right? That's your range of motion. So that, when you're, getting older, that you can reach to the top of the shelf and grab that dish, or grab that, box, or that sweater at the top of your closet. Maybe you're, tall, but I'm short. So I'm always reaching for stuff. And range of motion, we're just being able to do that without throwing out your back, right? I mean, so, don't get me wrong here. I think there's some really awesome benefits to, looking better naked, looking better in a bathing suit, all of these fun things that come along with fitness, of really reshaping our body. But at the end of the day, um, you know, I'm doing it, I know Mark's doing it, for the ability to live our lives later in life without being hindered, without being limited, because we can't move, or we don't have the strength to, or we don't have the range of motion. So we really are encouraging you guys to rethink fitness, in the sense that this is not just for weight loss. This isn't just for punishment for what I ate, and I got to burn off the calories of the donut I had this morning, right? That's not fitness. Fitness is a lifestyle. Fitness is knowing what you're doing so that you can be these two people, right? Doing cool stuff as you get older. So tips to fitting in fitness is, I'm a big fan of pre-planning. If I don't pre-plan my fitness, and I don't kind of know what I'm doing each day, like, okay, today is cardio, tomorrow is lower body, then it's cardio again, then it's upper body, whatever the plan is. I'm a big fan of planning. So, and I'm putting it in my calendar so that it's there, it's an appointment, especially because my calendar actually gets booked by other people. So it actually becomes even more important to put it in the calendar. And if you have kids and things like that, that can also happen, right? People are just like, taking your time. And so it's very important to set it aside.
I want to mention one thing on appointment there, Melanie, while you're still on that. So when I was in the Army for 10 years, we had an hour lunch break, and I took that appointment seriously because it was a priority to me. And I'm like, hey, you know what? If I get an hour for lunch, I'm going to use that hour to get my exercise in. And, that's 5 days a week right there. Because one of the things that I didn't want to have as an excuse was I don't have the time. If my work gives me an hour break, maybe I'll eat before or after that lunch workout, but I'm going to get that workout in as a priority. And so that became my appointment to myself.
Yeah, I love that. I know that pairing up with a workout buddy has always been a huge part of my success when staying accountable. Knowing someone who's meeting me at the gym, or knowing that I have a personal trainer that I'm going to go, meet at a gym, or finding a gym or a class that you really, really enjoy, that you want to go to.
Mm-hmm.
And that's really the key, right? Is that it doesn't feel like right. And it might in the beginning, but when there's a really great instructor, or great coaches, or a great culture, it makes it so much easier to go. I know the gym I have in Florida has an absolutely phenomenal culture. I actually want to get up early. I want to go because it's just, everybody is happy, everybody's positive, everybody's friendly, everybody's high-fiving. It's a ton of fun.
Mm-hmm.
And so culture and coaches and all of those kinds of things play in a role to making sure that you stay accountable. Sometimes it's kind of like, when it's just you, I mean, I know it's not nearly as fun when I'm not, when I'm with other people. So if you were like me, where you did not do this as a child, you did not enjoy it, you did not know how, you didn't have an active lifestyle growing up, I got to tell you, I utilized affirmations like crazy when I was looking to lose the weight I had gained in junior high, high school, and out of college was looking to lose all this, excess weight. And I knew that I had to start, doing fitness and engaging in fitness. And so I used affirmations, Mark, first thing in the morning, at night. They were on post-it notes all over my bathroom, just like, I'm lean, I'm fit, I'm strong, I'm better sore than sorry, meaning get your butt to the gym, right? Fitness is for my future. These kinds of statements that just made me feel like, yes, this is what I'm choosing. Not because I have to, not because I'm punishing myself for what I ate, not for just wait for weight loss, but because I'm choosing this to be stronger, to be leaner, to be fitter, for my future. So find affirmations that work for you if you're kind of in the same boat of where you feel like this is really a willpower and a discipline thing right now, and it's not quite a habitual thing. This is, one of those strategies that can help you out a lot. I know it helped me a lot.
Absolutely, absolutely. And with the affirmations too, it's good to think about them. I miss if you said that, but also for me, I know a big part of the affirmations is writing it out, and that's what gives it more power, because it's once in your mind, second on paper, and then third is the action. And so I like to have them written, whether it's sticky notes or on the mirror in the bathroom.
For sure, for sure. If you have a favorite affirmation that you're using right now, go ahead and write into the chat. Love to share it with everyone. One of the things that really motivates me, because again, this is something that, yes, I didn't grow up with, but even 20 years later, I'm still sort of always talking myself into fitness, right? Because I gotta be honest, Mark, I mean, most mornings, because I like to work out in the morning, that's my preference. That's another thing, is find your time. I prefer morning, but I don't always feel like it in the morning. And so there's always a lot of reasons why not to, right? I'm tired, I'm sore, I'm working long hours. I, don't feel like it. I mean, my brain goes to work to tell me all the reasons why I don't need to get up and work out. And so what I do on a very conscious level and a very with a lot of effort is actually talk myself into it. So I'm like, just get out of bed, just put your workout clothes on. Like if you get any further than that, hooray, but like put your workout clothes on, put those dang shoes on. I'm literally talking myself into it, saying like, I will feel better after this. I know how I feel after I work out, and I will be so glad that I did it. So I'm literally having this whole conversation with myself. Maybe I'm a crazy person, but this is what this is what I personally need to do to this day, many times, is just, just go to the gym, just show up. Just even if you did 5 minutes on the treadmill or 5 minutes on the bike, or just looked at the weight rack, it's going to be a huge success. So I am constantly doing that, you guys, and to this day. So oh, I love this. Kumi, this is hers. My self-talk when I don't feel like working out is, if I want to go to rock concerts at 80, I gotta work out now. I love that. The best project you'll ever work on is you. Oh, I love that, Raquel. That's a great one. So good. So good. So I find that tracking my fitness, because I'm like a big fan of lists, right? Like I like lists and crossing things off and checking boxes and things like that. So I like to track my fitness, and I use an app called Pacer, which is, so this is I have a little folder on my phone called Health. And so Pacer is the little foot. So if I'm running or I'm walking, it will track my walk and how long I went and how many feet how many steps and all that fun stuff, which is pretty cool. I like it. It just kind of takes something to the next level for me. I also have the Fit On app, which I think I've mentioned in the Shrink a Size group here, which is free workouts. Now they're going to advertise the crap out of you because they want you to pay for the gold, whatever. But they do have some great workouts that are short that you could combine that are all different levels. So whether you're a beginner or you're more advanced, it does have a bunch. And my zone is my heart rate monitor, and I love using my heart rate monitor. So this was recently, I was on the elliptical. I never normally do an elliptical. I usually choose spin or running, but in this workout, it was 41 minutes. I burned 381 calories, and I was averaging 79% effort. So when I'm in the yellow here, that means that I'm right at 80% effort. And then the red is 90 and above with my heart rate. And the heart rate is based on my age, and all these factors. Like you put in your factors on your phone, and then it calculates what 60% of your effort heart rate wise, what's 80%, what's, so it's constantly tracking. So it shows me how much effort I'm putting in. So that's a cardio workout. This was a recent strength workout. Definitely, strength is not cardio, right? So I'm not going to see all yellow or a bunch of red. I'm going to see lower numbers where like my effort was 65%, but I'm working out with weights here with Cam. And so it might have been upper body, might have been lower body. I don't know. I didn't specify, but I like to see what I'm doing and how it's affecting my body, because I'll tell you this, when I first started using this sucker, I thought I was like dying, and I was like, oh, I'm only at like 75% of my effort. Like, I'm not dying. I haven't even maxed out yet. Like, I can push this harder. Like, I got more gas in me, and I didn't realize it. So, and I think there's a big thing around that has to do with discomfort, right? We live in a world of comfort and ease. Right. And so with fitness, we're purposely putting ourselves in a uncomfortable position, in a position where we're challenging ourselves. We're, huffing and puffing, and we're sweating, and we're like, oh my gosh, just, like my hamstrings are on fire, or whatever is going on. And because we're so unaccustomed to discomfort in many cases, I think the majority of people, I don't think everybody, but the majority of people are definitely stranger to discomfort. That is, why we think we're working harder than we are. And so what I found is, once I incorporated this heart rate monitor, is that I got way more out of my workouts.
Yeah. And the thing I like about what you're doing there, Melanie, is she gets we talked about non-scale victories earlier. She gets to see that visually, her progress here of her cardio or her strength and walking the dogs. She gets to see that over time, here's how I've progressed. And that sometimes is going to make the difference when you get that, what you feel like is a plateau on the scale. And then you see this portion of the pie. You're like, wow, my run's getting better here. My lifts are getting stronger. And that's going to help to keep motivating you to keep going back and stay consistent.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, because the My Zone heart rate, it tracks your weekly activity and your monthly activity, and like you get points. And like now I'm a bronze, and I'm like, whoo. So it's like, you're kind of competing with yourself a little, which is really, really cool. And so I really enjoy it. And so for those of you who are brand new, maybe you didn't know, we do have some exercise resources in the fitness section of our website there under the resources tab. There's some free downloads. I gotta tell you, the 10-minute power workout is like really hard, and I don't think I've ever been able to do it in 10 minutes. So if you can, I'm gonna be super impressed. I'd love to hear how you guys do. So 10-minute power workout, we have our 30-day jumpstart exercise guide. We've got some other options for you guys in regards to fitness. So yeah, I hope you all feel inspired to move your body tonight, tomorrow, the next day, etc. Mark, you got any last words for our crew here in Shrink Size?
Yeah, Kumi says to draw some Chinese characters with the running route to make it interesting. But yeah, my last word, my takeaway and some final words here are progress over perfection. So, we get the nutrition down, we get the gym part, the exercise, everything in the gym is about progress. It's not about reaching the point of perfection, but just taking those, maybe 5-pound increments into your weights next week, or maybe it's a 5-minute less run time. And so looking things in that sense, and over the course of 365 days, those things compound and you become a better, stronger, more healthier, and your heart's beating better version of yourself.
Yeah, I love that. It's so true. So you guys, thanks for joining us for this evening's Shrink a Size. We'll see you next week. Just a reminder that the last week we're having this official check-in is going to be on Sunday night, because I will be on a plane on Monday. So just keep that in the forefront of your mind. Next week is Monday. The week after is Sunday. So we've got a couple more weeks here of our Shrink a Size. So stay committed, stay the course. You can do anything for 5 weeks, because we're going to get into those jeans, those pair of pants, those pair of shorts, because it ain't about the scale, baby. It's all about how you feel and fitting into those pair of jeans. You guys, super excited for all of you, super proud of all of you. And thanks for watching the recording for those who are catching it on the flip side. Mark, always appreciate working with you. You're phenomenal. I just love that you're helping others now change their lives with TLS. And I just really appreciate your time and expertise tonight.
It's been a pleasure. And folks, stay committed, stay focused. Love you all.
Good night, everyone.
All right.